Hey guys, it's TaysGreenLife with Nate Atkins from Divided. Hey,
Hey,
how's it going?
it's going.
So Nate, where exactly are you located?
So we are located out of Chesapeake, Virginia.
Okay.
Um, we're borderline Virginia Beach because some people don't know where Chesapeake is,
Hmm.
but we're real close to Virginia Beach. We practice out of Virginia Beach, but majority of us are from Chesapeake.
Okay, cool. So what does the band name Divided mean?
Well, I mean, it doesn't really have a meaning, I guess. It's just more or less something that we just kind of like threw names out there, and that's kind of what
Yeah.
stuck. Um, three of us were members of I'm sorry, another band called Unbound, and when that split up, then we created Divided. So I don't know. I guess there might be some kind of connection there, but not really.
So you had two members leave and then you have two more. How was that process for the band, for the remaining members?
So it's a difficult process, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
The reason why the members left and was family issues and creative differences between ourselves and our vocalist at the time.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, Matt, our guitar player, had to leave because he had to move to South Carolina because a family member passed. So
Yeah.
it really sucks. We had the utmost respect for Rich because, in my opinion, he was a hell of a vocalist. And when it came down to our decision of, this is the direction we should go, want to go, whatever, it was just at the time the right choice to make. And, trying to find somebody to replace the both of them is easier said than done. We got really lucky that our bass player, Russ, actually stepped up and is playing guitar now and
Yeah.
play, which works out really well because he already knew the songs and is real familiar with this, and that was actually the probably smarter move for us. But vocals, that's been a bit challenging. We have a couple people come out and try out. We have Zachary Tyler from House Divided who does a lot of fill-in shows with us, as well as Joe Cobb from Autopsy Affair, and the two of them together when we
Yeah.
have half shows and they've both been there, it's been awesome. Get a lot of feedback, get a lot of positive input for the band and everything, of just people coming up to us and like, yo, that was awesome, that's super cool. And we've been in the process of trying out a female vocalist. Had a lot of messages and a lot of people assume, and I will just rule one person out, and it is not Kim from Riff House. Uh, we love Kim and we love Riff House to death, but it is not
Yeah.
her. It is somebody else who used to be in the music scene, especially the hardcore scene, and she's kind of stepped back a little bit over the last couple of years.
Yeah.
We reached out and she messaged us back, and her debut show with us is going to be February 12th at Scandals, which is Super Bowl Sunday. So, but if it winds up turning out to be a glorified band practice with a female vocalist, then so be it. But we're in it to win it, and we had
Yes.
the opportunity. Yeah, she was off, so like, fuck it, let's do it. And
I love that. That's so great. I would love if she does, decide to stay, love to have like a talk because that's pretty cool,
yeah,
because I actually am looking for more women to talk to. I
right.
mean, because there's nothing against men. It's just like, I want to get that, out there and I want to see where other women are doing, like other women that are almost doing the same thing like I'm doing, trying to be like a businesswoman and like push
Right,
through and yeah. And
right.
it's crazy. I do see something coming up with Virginia Death Fest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
there's a huge list of bands. How is that process? You want to talk a little bit more about that?
God. So I originally started, I say the band came up with the idea of, hey, we should do a fest.
Hmm.
Okay, cool. What do y'all want to do? We played a couple fests last year. It was super fun. Had a good
Yeah.
time. A couple outdoors, a couple indoors. And overall, we just really liked it. And, we're like sitting here thinking, like, we could do this for our scene too. And so we did. And we did it at Scandals last year. And I believe we had 12 or 15 bands. We had it originally scheduled in the end of February. And unfortunately, we had a snowstorm. So we had to push it.
Yeah.
And we pushed it to May and still did it at Scandals. And all in all, it wasn't bad. We had a decent turnout. I can't say it wasn't, we didn't sell the place out. But that being said, like we kept it in mind and in our back pocket of, hey, we want to try to do this once a year. So later in 2022, right before the beginning of the year, I was like, hey, do you guys want to do the fest again? And they're like, fuck yeah, let's do it. So created the Virginia Death Fest 2023 group page and put up a poll. It was like, hey, who do you guys want to see perform? Within 2 days, 2 days, which fortunately I was trying to make it like a month long. I wanted the poll to end right around the beginning of the year, and I didn't know how to change it. So I didn't want to take it down because within 2 days, we had 127 submissions and over 6,000 votes. And that was crazy. Never in my wildest dreams did I ever expect that to happen. Last year, we were asking bands to play. This year, I got a waiting list of like 110 bands. It's insane.
Do you think it's mostly because of like how much networking is involved in it? Do you think could that be like?
That's a good question. We put a lot of time and a lot of effort into it. And to be honest, it's not just myself.
Yeah.
There's Jeff Silver. He's the drummer for Alcindor up in Richmond. He also runs Shred Booking, and he helps me a ton. He's like the man behind the scenes that nobody really hears about too much. Doesn't really post up in the group a whole lot.
Yeah.
But he's there. And along with, some of my band members and everything, especially shout out to Nick. Nick, we love you, man. He helps out a lot when it comes to, the band finances and us having to have guarantees for some of the bigger headliners, especially if we have to, send them half the guarantee up front or whatever the case may be, which does happen. But honestly, we wanted to do it in Richmond because Richmond is kind of like the central hub.
Yes.
And it's more of like networked with Jeff because Jeff books for another round. And I told him last year, I was like, I really want to try to get this further out there. And, we kept talking back and forth and, using other bands in the local areas for the 757 and 804. And to be honest with you, like the outreach and everything was, I had people from like Indiana messaging me and like Michigan and Florida and Texas. And I think one band in California. I was like, what the fuck? Like, how did y'all like what's going on here? It's been crazy. And, without them and without, I guess you could say, networking like that, none of this would be possible.
Yeah.
There's absolutely no way I'd be able to do this all by myself.
No, social media and connections and all that is very important. Like you made a poll, not thinking anything of it, and then you get like all these people like, yeah. And honestly, that shows that how important the local scene is and how many people actually want to support. Like it's crazy.
It's insane. Absolutely. And yes. it not only that, but it also shows their scene of where that band may be and how tight and how networked they are.
Yes.
I think the winning band, in my, opinion, the one that had the most votes, I believe was Sacrificial Betrayal. And I think they had like 150 votes.
Yeah.
We're in, I believe, North Carolina on like western northern part. So, these people are 5-6 hours away, and here they are getting 150, 200 votes to play a fest that's in Virginia. So here we are.
It's crazy because last season, my first season, I interviewed a band from Scotland. So that one was pretty cool. And now, since I've like interviewed them, the lead singer of the band, they're called Vowels.
Okay.
He has decided to manage a couple other bands in that area.
Nice.
And like I'm talking to them and they really have good music and I'm like, that's insane.
Yeah.
Like how like UK.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I was like looking at the statistics and I was like, Germany. People see my stuff in Germany.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah, and I'm just like I get people from like I don't even know, like South Africa. I'm like, how did you see my
Wow.
podcast?
Yeah. That's super sick though, man. And
Yeah.
social media, a lot of people take it for granted, but social media is a very powerful tool. You know how to use
Hmm.
it. It is. It really is.
You like meet so many different people, like and so like you become friends with so many people in like other states or whatever. And like, I mean, you probably never meet them, but it's still cool, like to have that ability in a to do it
And
in like a second. You come up with an event in a second and people are just like on board immediately.
and you know what? It's funny you say that because you say that you have so many friends, and that's one of the hardest things in trying to do this fest. Because locally, like we play with almost every single metal band in this scene,
Hmm.
and it's it sucks because I can't put everybody on this show.
Yeah.
I can't do it. And even for some of the people that are out of town that had a lot higher votes, I can't necessarily have a fest where I'm putting just out of towners. Nobody knows who you are.
Yeah.
I
You
want
got to
you to
build up a
play
connection.
right. I want you to play in front of a crowd and not just three people or other bands that are from out of town that you don't know. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
there's a lot that goes into it, and a lot that some people may think that, oh, he's just an asshole, or nah, it's really not the case. Like I just can't have 120 bands in 2 days. Like it's just
Yeah.
not gonna happen. But
Oh.
it's crazy, crazy.
Yeah, that one little festival. I don't even remember. I don't remember the name. I'm not gonna lie, but it was like in the middle of nowhere, and it was in the garage, and there was like a bunch of bands, and all of us were just like chilling and smoking. And I
Was
think
it
a
last
member
year?
from your band, I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, you're talking about summer. What
Yes.
summer mayhem or something like that?
Yeah, I was there, and like I signed my name on the back of your. I don't know who's
Yeah,
back. Yeah,
that's
someone's back. It has my
yeah,
business logo on
yeah. I'm gonna get Road Job to draw a giant dick on them. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, everyone just started writing on it. I think I like stuff like that. I like how like all of us could like get together and just vibe out and just
Yeah,
that's what the fest is for.
we're
Do you think the scene needs anything that could make it better?
that's so that's a good question. um, I don't necessarily think that it would need anything to make it better.
Hmm.
I do think that obviously, scenes are scenes, and some people, when it comes to scenes, are very scene specific.
Yeah.
You know, you have your death metal kids; they only go to death metal shows. You have hardcore kids that only support hardcore shows. Deathcore, metalcore. There's so many different cores now that it's like I don't even know. I consider myself to be dadcore because I'm almost 50 years
Yes.
old. We're still out here doing our shit. But if everybody were to come together and join as just one scene, the amount of people that would be able to go and show love and support to locals and or just in general would be like quadruple winners. You know, I'm not scene specific. Don't get me wrong. I have my favorite scene bands that
Hmm.
I like, and I'm more or less like Deathfest, for instance. Uh, there's bands on there that I consider to be more like a super hard rock versus deathcore or death metal, and then there's some bands on there that are fucking just ruthlessly brutal deathcore, and it's amazing. And we're trying to make it as diverse as possible with the best turnout for everybody as possible. And I feel that if a lot of people in the scenes did that, you'd get a lot more friends out of it. And you'd also probably get a lot more bigger crowds, participation, whatever, But I would really say that that's probably my only thing. Um, I consider all the scenes, you know, people and members in them to be like family. Like I'd get these dudes a shirt off my back if I had to, and hopefully vice versa with them. And obviously that's pretty much about it, though. That's all I could really think of.
Yeah, I feel like it's getting better. I see new things and great networking and people coming together. It surprises me sometimes. So how many bands would you say joined this festival? Is 2 day festival?
How many bands are on it?
Yeah,
21.
21. And
I'm
how
sorry,
did
hold on.
you
Let me think that. So the 21 or 22. There
okay.
are 4 bands day 1 and 8 bands day 2.
And how long do you think the festival is? Like from when does it start?
I believe the first day we're going to probably do the doors, if I'm thinking correctly, because we've been going back and forth about this because we keep moving things around a little bit.
Yeah.
So this is unofficial, but semi-official. I want to say we're going to do the doors sometime, probably around 12:30, 1 o'clock. The first band will probably go on right around 1:30. Each band will have 30-minute sets, and I believe 15 to 20 minutes change outs between. Day 2, which is Sunday, I think we're going to do probably around the same time. It might be maybe 1:30, 2 o'clock that we do the doors, but that's also because there's less bands.
Yeah.
But it just really depends. That's more Jeff's realm because Jeff does the primary booking for another round.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of let him have free reign of, hey, these set times, doors, whatever, because he's more familiar with the venue.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, we've been leaning more towards 1-ish for doors and normally right around 1:30, 2 o'clock to start everything off.
Cool, cool. So what does Divided have planned for the year?
Well, we've got quite a few things actually. Obviously, biggest thing that's coming up is we have our female vocalist is going to be playing her first show with us, and that is going to be the 12th of February at Scandals in Virginia Beach. We have a show this upcoming Saturday at I hope I get this right, the World of Wax Warehouse in Richmond. Say that as fast as you can 3 times.
Oh yeah, is it there? You're this weekend. This weekend.
Yeah. That's the World of Wooks on Saturday.
Yeah. I'll be at that one. It was a 3 piece and Divided and not Divided, obviously. Disposed. Yeah. Yeah. Because I know the Scum City Reviews group, and yeah, I just interviewed him earlier. So yeah, we were talking about the show and how it is to come up with the stuff because apparently he was like, it sounds like a house, like someone's house.
It really does.
Yeah.
I have looked it up on Google myself, and I'm just like, we're playing a house show, bro.
Literally.
It is what it is. I mean, don't get me wrong. House shows typically are the best shows. They're badass. Now, we have a lot of equipment. We have a lot of equipment. We have big equipment too, like half cabs, my drum set.
Well, Dave, I don't know if you've heard of the Scabba Dabba Doo. I think that's what they're called. The group, and they did like a show underneath the bridge and like a parking garage. So in the bike shop, they do like random shows in like random places. They call it do-it-yourself venues.
Yeah.
So
I've heard about the bike. I've heard that place is actually pretty cool.
Yeah, it was at Eustace, Scholarship,
nice.
A couple other people, and then the Under the Bridge was pretty cool, and that was like literally right next to the James River. So that's cool. Yeah, and they just would bring extension cords down, and everyone would wheel their stuff down, and it's hot, but you know what? It's a cool venue. So I mean, it's not really a venue; it's a bridge.
Right.
But that's cool. Yeah, like there's a good thing about like because there's the Canal Club, Another Round, the Camel, stuff like that. I would say the National, but yeah, they have like a sound ordinance and all that, and yeah.
Now, so that's coming up this upcoming weekend. We have pretty much a show every weekend in February. And then the next big thing that we have coming up is still yet to be announced. But it is a tour package that's coming through, and I believe that is in March. And then in April, April 21st and 22nd. 21st, we're going to be in Richmond at another Round Bar and Grill, kicking off a short weekend run down to Charlotte, North Carolina, with our boys from the coursing, doing a benefit show down there at their practice spot. So that'll hopefully work out very well for us. We did it a couple years ago, and it was a blast. We love the dudes in the coursing, and every time they come here, they crash at my house. Every time we go there, we crash at one of their houses, and we just have a blast.
Yeah, that's so cool. I love the community. That's literally what it's about, the community. I say this in every episode, honestly. Yeah. And if no one understands it at this point, I don't know what to tell them. But yeah, community is very important. Like, support your local community. Help everyone out. Like, you can't do it alone. You have to be a team. You have to, and that's cool that you've decided to do that with, the festival, the 2-day festival. That's cool. Like, you came up with a poll and people were like, I want to see this person, what else can we talk about?
Well, the fest is the last big thing that we have booked this year, and that's in June. That is June 24th and 25th at another Round Bar and Grill. Maybe sometime next year, depending on how big this fest really gets. I could have easily done 3 days, but we didn't want to have to start a festival on a Friday at 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon if everybody's working. So, you know what I mean? Stuff like that.
Yeah.
But we're throwing ideas out. We're really, 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 I never told anybody this. So, hey, congratulations. You're the first one to know.
Yay! I love that.
This close to getting Slaughter to Prevail.
Ooh.
I was this fucking close. I threw them a number and they laughed at me. And it was a pretty large number. And I was like, fuck. But they're Slaughter to Prevail,
Yeah. But you know what? Like, I mean, they shouldn't have laughed. They should have been like, you know what? Maybe we'll show up or something. Like, but not to play, maybe we can like see some of the bands, even like try, but that's just ridiculous.
You know what? Like, I get it. And, if I had, shit, 1 million plus views on my social media, I might be a little cocky myself. But, what it comes down to is it's a numbers game. And, this isn't cheap. It costs a lot of money for the bands coming in from out of town, the bands playing locally, and the promoters putting it on. And, hopefully the ultimate goal is for everybody to leave with, no merch left in their, stockpile and fat pockets for everybody. That is the ultimate goal. And we do have a couple sponsors, which is super, super cool. We have Indoor Suns, which is Brian Fisher, also the owner of Another Round Bar and Grill. He's super, super good dude. Definitely been in the metal scene for a lot more years than I have. We have Fest Coin, which they make like, little coins that they give out and they sell at Fest. And they've done Blue Ridge. They've done, I believe, a couple other bigger fests, but I specifically saw the coin from Blue Ridge. It was super cool.
That's exciting.
Yeah, we have Trademark Printing, which is our print company who prints all of our shirts for us out here in Portsmouth. And that is Mike. He's the vocalist for band Poor Vita, and super, super good dude. And that's 90% of all of our merch comes from him. We're not asking people to donate for sponsorships or anything like that. It's more or less like, hey, you get your name put in the chat, reference, even yourself. We've had a conversation, I believe, once or twice, and it's I can't give them tidbits. But
no, yeah. No, I understand that one. That one I understand. Yeah, I am perfectly okay with doing that. Because like I do pop-ups, so like I have to pay about like $75 for the day event because I do like pop-up RVA at the Diamond, which is downtown Richmond, and like I'll do like the witches market or like the oddities events because like my roommate,
Right.
both my roommates, like there's a t-shirt back here. She doesn't have a name yet, but she creates like stickers and t-shirts and designs and stuff. And then like I have another roommate that creates like witchy herbal bath bombs and stuff like that. And then obviously me. Um,
Right.
but yeah, like that stuff is like if you need other vendors and need other things, of course,
Oh
there's nothing wrong with like, yeah, other groups coming
yeah.
in, small
Yeah.
businesses being like, let me get on the
Hit
metal fence.
us
Yeah.
up. Yeah. For real though, hit us up. I mean, like
Yes.
I've had a couple people message me before we even had put anything out. And it was like, like I don't really know yet because like we didn't even have any bands booked at the time. And people were already reaching out about like vending and stuff like that. It's like, let me figure this out first and then like the year and we'll go from there. But like, I mean, for instance, like Festcoin, they don't take up a lot of space. If you came out and you wanted to do podcasts or something, it's something you're going to be walking around doing your thing. But
Yeah.
whatever the case may be, like if you're interested in becoming a sponsor, hit us up.
Do it.
You get advertisement in the group chat. It's got about 500 people in it.
Yeah.
And, you'll probably get an honorable mention when we print the merch. We are going to mention our sponsors because we are going to have Death Fest merch. We're going to do shirts. And it'll be printed on the bottom of it. It's sponsored by blah, 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 blah. So, you're going to get mentioned and people will see it. And in my opinion, support locals. That's what we're doing.
Literally like small businesses. Like if it wasn't for the small businesses, you wouldn't have like the t-shirts and the, spots to do venues and stuff like that. So,
yeah, I'm not in this. We're not in this to make money.
Yeah.
To help everybody and just have a fucking good time.
Yes. And that is important. Yes. Very important.
Absolutely. Yep.
We're getting a little close here. Is there anything you want to talk about before we get off? Anything we should know?
Off the top of my head, I can't really think of anything off the top of my head. I will say that the direction of Divided with the new vocalist, if it works out, it's going to be a little different. She's more of a hardcore metalcore style vocalist.
Yes.
Can do some gutter rolls and everything. And don't get me wrong, she's badass.
Yes, I love it.
Yeah, fucking badass. It's almost like Arch Enemy had a child with Ginger.
Yes.
Good shit. And she's super cool. And I'm not going to drop any names, but if you want to see who she is, come out February 12th. We'll be at Scandals.
Yes, come out. Let's do it. It's been a great interview, Nate. We got Divided, Virginia Death Fest. All the links will be in the description, and of course, your name and all that will be everywhere. Make sure you guys follow the artist and TaysGreenLife. Let's subscribe. Thanks, guys. It's been a great interview, and I hope to see you live.
Thanks.